Welcome back, everybody. I'm very excited for you to be here with me, to be filming and sharing my projects again. This does bring me a lot of joy, and it is a passion of mine. So today we're going to be making an iron board cover, and this tutorial could work for any iron board. I'm just choosing my fabric. I did a rough cut. I had 2 yards of this fabric. So what I'm going to do is lay down my iron board. I'm going to measure out 3 inches all the way around, and I'm going to cut that out. So full disclosure, this is my very first time making an iron board cover. It's not going to be perfect, and you might see a few wonky stitches along the way, but I loved every second of making this. That's really what this channel is all about. Ignoring the pressure to be perfect and just finding the joy in the process of creating something that is uniquely yours. So I'm excited. Let's jump right in and I'll show you how I did it. If I were to make this again, I would give myself an extra inch if I'm going to do this right here. I wanted to create a clean hem once it was finished. So if you do this as well, just maybe give it an extra inch or so. Anytime you start a project, don't forget to backstitch at the beginning and backstitch at the very end. I'm just going to be sewing all the way around on this hem, and if you don't have one of these tools, I recommend getting one. They're called seam rippers. They do exactly what the name is. They rip seams if you make mistakes, but they also are very helpful to push the fabric through the machine, especially if there's a small area bunching up and you don't want it to. It's easy to hold it in place as it goes through. And I'd love to know, what's a project you've been meaning to try? Or maybe one you're a little scared to start because you're worried it won't be perfect. Let me know down in the comments. After I finish that, I measure out another seam of 1 inch all around, and then I sew. I do use pins to hold this in place so it doesn't shift. Then at the very end, I am going to leave a little opening about 2 to 3 inches. This is where I'm going to put my elastic through. I am using elastic to make this iron board cover. There's my little opening. Don't forget to backstitch at the end. That little green clip I put there to remind me that's my stopping point. And I always use the seam ripper to cut the strings off at the end. You want to use a safety pin. This is going to help you to pull that through. So I'm going to put the safety pin through my fabric and I'm just going to push it through. I'm going to do this all the way around. If you are a beginner yourself, this is not the only way to make one of these covers. This is just the way that I chose to do it. That was easier for me and the tools that I had. It's my very first time making one of these. I know that I have a lot to learn. If you are a veteran sewer, I would love for you to chime in. It's important to note that I did not tie this off or cut the elastic. I'm fitting this on my board. Once I have it on there, this is the point that I tighten it to my liking and then I tie it. That's when I cut it off from the rest of the elastic bundle. In a moment, I will show you the before and after. A reminder to enjoy the process, imperfections, and all. And I'll see you next time.